Pro-Palestinian protesters and lawyers from the University of Toronto were in court today for day one of an injunction hearing. Student protesters set up an encampment on the school's lawn nearly 2 months ago now, and the school wants them gone. Our Lorenda Reddekopp is out in front of the courthouse on University where that injunction hearing is going on today. And Lorenda, what did you hear in court?
Well, this was day one of this injunction hearing, and today it was the university's side, its lawyers laying out their case of why these student protesters should be gone. It says that people at the university, they feel unsafe and that they should have access to all parts of the campus, that there's this large section, this King's College Circle that is now being taken over by these tents, and that people are frustrated that they can't access that anymore. They gave some examples talking about how some people, students and faculty, have had things yelled at them. One example they gave is somebody being told, go back to your country. Now, the university's lawyers did say that they can't say for certain who was yelling that, whether these were people from the encampment, but its argument is that it doesn't really matter because it says that it's all because of this encampment being in place that things have changed, that these types of things didn't happen on campus before this. It also talked about some case law. One of the cases that it brought up was a previous encampment at a park in Toronto. It was 2011. It went to court. It was the Occupy Toronto, an Indigenous protest, and that was found to be illegal. Of course, every case is different. Some other evidence they used, they talked about how this is something that's monitored 24/7. Not everyone has access to get into that encampment. So that is some of what we heard. We also did hear from the protesters afterwards, talking about how they had actually made an offer. You know, this is going on, but yesterday, a day before this going to court, they actually tried to negotiate with the university, taking one of their demands off the table, and that is the one to cut ties with Israeli universities, saying, okay, we can take that off the table. And it said that the university didn't go for that. Here's more from one of the protesters.
We did offer a settlement to them yesterday. This was their out. We did not have to come to court today. And they responded to us with the same language that they have been using in the past. Committees, slowdowns, bureaucratic procedures that have failed students in the past. So that was their response, and that is why we are at the courthouse today.
Now, we also heard from the lawyer who is representing them. This was day one. Day two, it's going to be their side. And she went through a little bit of what we'll be hearing tomorrow. Take a listen.
Tomorrow, what you'll hear is that the students are here because they have an urgent demand for their university to stop spending their tuition dollars on a genocide. You will hear how this protest is peaceful and how it is made up by a diversity of people from all faiths and backgrounds. You will hear how hate speech is not tolerated in the encampment, and also how the protest is not intended to stay here indefinitely on campus. In fact, the protest will leave once the university agrees to a mutually agreeable solution.
So two very different views of what this encampment really represents. And so we'll be hearing the other side tomorrow. Kelda?
Sir Lorenda Reddekopp live for us tonight.